E.A. Adeboye, the General Superintendent or General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, has also weighed into this matter. He has some advice or suggestions for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He has advised Tinubu on what he will do with Donald Trump. What he can easily do for America not to enter Nigeria and clamp down on terrorists. Let's listen to the pastor of Redeemed Christian Church of God. Then we'll come back for analysis.
If I were asked to make suggestions, I would say quietly to our government, move fast. Move diplomatically. Move wisely. Find a way to convince the President of America to please delay his actions for about 100 days. And then come home. And tell our security chiefs get rid of these terrorists within 90 days or resign. Which would lead me to my next advice to our government. In case there's any of you who can get across with them. That when giving orders to the service chief this time round, we should make it clear to them that they are not only to eliminate the terrorists, they should eliminate their sponsors.
That is the advice or suggestion Pastor Adeboye gave to Tinubu. Now waiting he advised Tinubu because he has seen that he's no longer sleeping in the night and the whole thing is giving him too much stress. Probably his BP don't rise. So I jot the points where Adeboye raised, Pastor Adeboye, General Superintendent of Redeemed Church. I had to jot some points down. Number one, he is advising Tinubu or suggesting that Tinubu should find a way to convince the President of America, which is Donald Trump, to delay his actions for 100 days. Delay American military entering Nigeria to clamp down on terrorism. Delay it for 100 days. And I ask, why should fighting terrorism be delayed for 100 days? Does it mean the pastor is indirectly facilitating or endorsing the Christian genocide in Nigeria? Why should they delay it for 100 days? I ask another question. Did America say they are entering Nigeria to fight Nigerians or fight Tinubu, or did they say they are entering to fight terrorism? Why is everybody scared? Why is everyone running helter-skelter? Is there something we don't know? Is there something these people are telling us that we don't know about? America specifically said they are entering Nigeria to fight those people committing heinous crime, those people committing ethnic cleansing in Plateau State, in Benue, in different parts of Nigeria, in northern Nigeria. They are coming there to take those people out. Why is everybody worried? Why does it look like a fight against terrorism is fight against Nigerians? And why should this whole thing be delayed? 100 days is 3 months and 10 days. So American president should not enter Nigeria for 3 months and 10 days. So inside these 3 months and 10 days, 100 days tentatively, what will happen? That means you are giving these terrorists another way. You are giving them more time to continue unaliving Christians, modern Christians. Or is Adeboye, Pastor Adeboye telling us that if Donald Trump, Tinubu go to convince, okay, before I even go to convince it, let's even start from the first before we go to the last. Find a way to convince the president. Who will find a way to convince the president? Tinubu. Does Tinubu have access to Donald Trump? Can Tinubu go to America to sit down with Donald Trump and talk with him one-on-one? Even the vice president of Nigeria, J.D. Vance, Tinubu doesn't even have access to him. Even PA to Donald Trump, Tinubu cannot even discuss anything. Tinubu doesn't have that weight to speak with American president, except something different happened that I don't know about. How will this meeting, who will even call for this meeting? And how will Tinubu convince the president of America to delay his actions for another 30 days? Is he going to do it one-on-one, or is he going to do it via his Twitter page? Or is he going to do it as a press release? Does Tinubu have that aura to convince the president of Nigeria? Does he have the courage? Does he have the charisma? Does he have all it takes for somebody that is a drug baron? We are talking about America, where he forfeited over 460,000 US dollar, where he they do drug pushing. Is it the same America? Tinubu go sit down, convince Donald Trump not to enter America, not to enter Nigeria, I beg your pardon, for 100 days. Those are the questions. I go to the second. He said that after Tinubu, according to, we are analyzing the speech where Adeboye, where he advised Tinubu, that after Tinubu must have finished convincing the president of America not to enter Nigeria or delay it for another 100 days, then Tinubu can now come into Nigeria and tell his service chiefs to get rid of the terrorists, meaning he is going to give them an ultimatum to get rid of the terrorists for 90 days or they resign. How possible is that? Oh, the terrorists or the service chiefs, the so-called service chiefs, are waiting for America to first threaten them or tell them that if you don't do this, we are going to enter. They are waiting for them to say a word before they know that they are going to fight terrorism in Nigeria. Why is everybody suddenly waking up? He will come home and then give the service chiefs ultimatum to remove terrorists 100% from Nigeria, or they resign for another 90 days. The third, he now went to the next advice. Say, my next advice, in case there is anyone where there for government inside that church, we can easily convey his message to them. Adeboye is telling us that he doesn't have access to Tinubu. So if there is anybody listening to him inside his church, the person should send his message to the presidency. But the wife of Tinubu is a pastor, senior pastor in Redeemed Christian Church of God. And he is the general overseer of Redeemed Church. If a pastor can get to the wife, how is it not difficult for him to get to the husband? Is it not the same Tinubu where Pastor Adeboye sit down for the same table with Fashola? They sit down, they were having either breakfast or dinner. Pastor Adeboye, this is a message. I just see that now somebody where they try not to offend the president, where they try not to offend his friend. He's trying not to offend Tinubu. That is why the truth, they do economy. He just they too economical with waiting he want tell the so-called president. He's his friend. So why is he now saying, my next advice, in case there is anybody here that can send my advice to them? Does it mean that Pastor Adeboye doesn't have access to Tinubu? Does it mean he doesn't have access to Remi Tinubu, the wife of Tinubu? He has access to them. Tinubu's wife is the pastor in his own church. I don't like many people, they deceive me. I don't like this. Because the pastor, if you look at the way he talked he was shaking. He wasn't confident enough. I said the energy where these people use for Jonathan, if they use 1/4 of it, oh, this a lot of things will not go there bad like this. They gave Jonathan serious body heat. Now why Jonathan even remove subsidy? Now why Jonathan say, oh, I beg go. Instead of a trouble, I kukuma come out my hand for this presidency. He now went to congratulate Muhammad Buhari, aka Jubril of Sudan. They gave Jonathan body heat. They protested. They did prayer work. They did not just talk, they acted. And Jonathan, being a listening president and a true Democrat, listened to them and also say, okay, fine, let's the subsidy continue. He said, okay, since I cannot fight insecurity, Buhari, I hand over the president to you. Why are they now coming and in the time of Tinubu and everybody is just making speeches? Tinubu government cannot fight terrorism. America want to help them to fight it. And you are telling America to delay it for 100 days. 100 consecutive days. Oh, inside this 100 days when America no go enter Nigeria, you are now giving these terrorists an easy pass to go and be by Christians. That is selfishness, wickedness in play. No, you can't love Nigeria Christians in northern part of Nigeria and you will tell America to delay their coming for another 3 months. Next year, now 2026, so February. Now in America go delay to enter inside Nigeria. So all this cry where Christians for north, they cry, you know they touch on her. All this cry where northern Christians, they cry. All these their loved ones where then they bury, the thing know they touch on her for her skin. If now your family member, this whole thing they happen to, will you tell America to delay it? 4. Pastor Adeboye said, aside from eliminating the terrorists, also eliminate the sponsors. Who are the sponsors? Who be the sponsors? Are they hiding? Is it Nigeria Army? Una they wait to una give 90 days. Una they give them 90 days to fight terrorists and make sure that they eradicate all of them. Then also after eliminating the terrorists, eliminate the sponsors. That's the cabals. Now advice with Adeboye they give Tinubu. And I'm going to end by asking another pertinent question. Who are the sponsors of terrorism? Where are they? Are they in Aso Rock? Is there any of them where they for Aso Rock? Tinubu doesn't know who they are. Tinubu does not know who these terrorists are. So the pastor said that he should eliminate the sponsors of terrorism. I don't have any other thing to say, but this delayed the coming of American military for 100 days does not sound Christ-like. Jesus Christ would not sit down and wait for his followers to be totally wiped away before he will intervene. Pastor Adeboye, if you're not inside the Redeemed Church, if you're not Redeemed Church, then the bomb by everywhere. The tithe givers, the sow seeders, people where they sow seed for your church. If not this thing they happen for your church, will you tell America to hold on for another 100 days? I leave them with that.